I guess my nerdy quirk is the smell. Like I'm like if you smell good, whew, that's like super important to me.
Yeah, I always tell
But
guys
it could
too.
be just
I want to comment on the smell thing. I want to stop there for a second because, you know, guys, if you smell clean, that is oftentimes
oh,
enough. But pouring
but
on the cologne, a little dab will do yet. This podcast contains explicit adult content, mature themes, and candid conversations about sex, dominance, power exchange, and ethical non-monogamy. It is intended for audiences 18 and over only. Listener discretion is advised. The views expressed by our guests are theirs alone and do not necessarily reflect the views or values of the hosts, producers, or affiliated brands. The Bull Brotherhood podcast is for educational, entertainment, and empowerment purposes only. Nothing in this podcast should be interpreted as legal advice, medical guidance, or psychological counseling. We speak from experience, not credentials. Always practice consent, respect the boundaries of others, and follow local laws. If you're not comfortable with frank talk about sex, kink, dominance, or emotional power, this probably isn't the show for you. But if you're ready to step into your masculine edge and embrace a lifestyle that demands mastery, welcome to the Brotherhood.
Welcome to the Bull Brotherhood podcast, where we talk power, pleasure, and the art of dominance in ethical non-monogamy. This is not your average lifestyle podcast. This is for men who lead, men who master, and men who leave a lasting impression. If you're here, you're not just curious. You're ready to elevate. So to all the bulls, hotwives, stags, and open-minded explorers, we see you. Let's go.
Oh yeah, claim the mind, train the body on the soul. Deep connections built on trust. Let's all go from conversation.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to another invigorating and exciting episode of the Bull Brotherhood podcast. I'm 1/3 of your podcast team, the impeccable Sigma male himself, Brian Morgan, along with the rest of the family, the sexy and seductive Siren,
Hello.
and of course the perpetual student. It's my brother from another mother. I call him nephew, Socrates.
What's good, y'all? What's good, everybody?
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, I, along with Socrates, we'll be kind of taking a little back pedal tonight. We're going to turn it over to the ladies. Siren from the Siren and Freedom podcast. You know that podcast very, very well. It's hot as fuck right now. She's going to interview someone who's very, very special. She hails from the great state of North Carolina, i.e. Jacksonville, North Carolina. And again, I'll turn it over to Siren. She'll take it over from here. Hit it, ladies.
Hello, everyone. Well, this woman is very, very special because we refer to her as what she is, Brian Morgan's baby girl, Lindsay. How are you, Lindsay?
I'm doing well. I'm doing good.
Good. I am so happy that we get to do this episode and that Brian and Socrates suggested it. So for the audience, we're going to just come from a lady's perspective tonight on what makes a quality bull. We both have very different dynamics. I'll let Lindsay explain hers in a second. And then, of course, we have the dynamic with me and Socrates and just what makes quality bull in each of our situations. So, Lindsay, why don't you explain for those that are maybe new tonight what your dynamic is with you and your husband and Brian?
Well, my husband and I, we've been married for 24 years. And my relationship with Brian is we've been together for about, 2.5 years. And so we have kind of formed a family together as a throuple. I refer to him as my daddy. We do things together. We do things separately as far as like involving my husband. anytime that Brian comes to town, we like to do things as a family, like go out to dinner. We've done other things as well. We've gone to a basketball game in Charlotte together as a family. We have other things planned in the future. We're going to go to a comedy club in November, and even hopefully, planning on doing other things like traveling abroad together as a family. So the dynamic is a throuple. The two men are friends. They do not sexually interact, if that makes sense. But so I will go off alone with Brian and spend quality time with him. And then whenever our time is up and I have to return back to home to take care of my home business and be here where I'm at, then I just kind of resume my position with my husband and my family.
And is your husband ever, is it like a cuckold dynamic where your husband will be in the room when you and Brian are playing, and does he take on more of a cuck role in that situation?
No, not really. Whenever we first met and we first did a meet and greet and kind of got together, Philip was there. He got involved. He was a part of the situation. But then since things have evolved over time, Philip is just, it's almost, well, not almost, it's that hot wife type of thing where he lets me go. He lets me do what I want to do. I come back home. I tell him about the situation. Now, on the other end of things, Philip, in his dynamic, it's different because I feel like it's almost like I live two lives at times, because he still enjoys going and attending lifestyle events, whether it's a house party or whether it's like a meet and greet, or I have to be there as a supportive part, as his wife, let's say go on a date with a couple. Mm-hmm. But I basically walk into this situation well knowing that probably, unfortunately, what's gonna be in this situation, it's not for me. But I'm there to support him. I'm there to be his cheerleader. So a couple of weeks ago we went to a house party. I was there for him as a cheerleader. So if he finds somebody to play with, then I'm there. But the majority of times that I go to these events, I end up having female on female play. Really is my kind of thing.
There you go. So I've heard. I haven't seen.
Don't really have. There's not. It's just not my thing as much. It's just. But like I said, I'm there for him because I want him to continue to. I want him to be happy. I want him to be able to do his own thing and be supportive of whenever he does have these interactions. He went a couple weeks ago over to a female's house and played with her while I stayed here and hung out at the house.
Yeah, so it's more
our
of a
dynamic is kind of separate.
Yeah, you have the throuple situation where Brian and Philip are friends, and then you're the hot wife, baby girl, and then there's more of a stag-vixen dynamic where Philip goes and plays on his own as well, which is what Socrates and I have, is a stag-vixen relationship. And then when Socrates gets the opportunity, he is also a married bull, so he will go and most often at events right now play with a couple, with a cuckold couple. We play together, separate groups. We mostly gravitate towards solo play most of the time. And then, we're in, as everyone knows, an interracial relationship as well. So, Lindsay, when you think of maybe the top 3 things that make up a quality bull, what do you think of?
So a lot of the things that I like, I feel like it's multifaceted.
That's fine.
But yet in a very balanced.
It doesn't have to be in numerical order. We're just having a conversation about what we as, so how many years have you been in the lifestyle now?
Oh gosh, I think it's like close to, I want to say 5.5 or 6 years.
Okay. And I'm at I'm at about 3.5. So but I feel like we've done a lot in the 3.5 years. Like our 3.5 years is some people's 10 years. So as experienced women in the lifestyle and having done, the stag-vixen dynamic, and for you, the daddy baby girl dynamic, just talk to me about what, impresses you. You can even use Brian, for example, what are the things that stand out as a quality bull for you?
Well, first off, I mean, I always like to reference the fact of that, straight out the bag. I mean, the biggest and the largest sex organ is between your ears.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it's very much of intelligence, like the ability to have a conversation, not jumping right into like 2 minutes of a conversation with someone and sending dick pics. It's about...
You don't like that?
That happens.
Oh, I know.
It happens. I mean, and
2 minutes, that might be
other...
pushing it. That's a little long.
Well, and even from beyond the other side, I've even made it very clear to my husband, like, please do not send photos of myself to people, even if, they request it. You have people out there that just like to collect photos, I swear. But intelligence, being able to hold a conversation with someone and being able to, I'm very, very attracted to that intelligent part of the brain. Are you a good person? Do you have the ability to expand your mind and talk to me, teach me? Are you open to different things? That is, I'm so attracted to that. I'm attracted to that intelligent part. There's other things too as well. For me, I have my little weird nerdy quirks. Like I wouldn't even say it's a nerdy quirk, but I absolutely love the fact for like a well-dressed man, a well put together man. And it's not just like sometimes. I mean, I enjoy loving to see somebody that is very in tune with how they look. Small details are important to them. I guess my nerdy quirk is the smell. Like I'm like if you smell good, that's like super important to me.
Yeah, I always tell guys too. I want to comment on the smell thing. I want to stop there for a second because, guys, if you smell clean, that is oftentimes enough. But pouring on the cologne, a little dab will do ya. And I told one guy, a play partner, the second time he came over, I said, don't wear cologne. Just take a shower and put on some deodorant, come on over. Because it's just so overpowering sometimes. So it's important to smell good. But if you have a regular, it's like, don't be afraid to speak up to them of, the smell attribute, because I was just sneezing like the whole time. There's some colognes that I'm very allergic to. So, just a clean smell and, spray it once and walk into it and you're probably good. Like, you shouldn't be able to smell someone from like 5 feet away. It should be in their embrace and that's where you can smell. Like my husband will just do just a little bit on his neck. And then I'm like, I do the same thing. Like, it's like you're trying to just snort their scent. But yeah, I feel you on that scent issue. So it's important.
That is, that's a little weird, quirky.
But smells are connected to memories. And so it's like, if you think about, I think about my grandma's, apple pie or my mom's certain kind of soup. Things like that. We have some very strong memories connected to smells. So even if you had a really good time with someone and they didn't smell good, then all you remember is that smell, So, that goes for ladies too. We need to make sure that we're smelling fresh and good too. Okay. It's just an important part of the play experience on both sides. So continue on.
Okay.
Talk to me more about the well-dressedness of a man. Like, what does that look like for you?
You can look well-dressed, whether it's in, shorts and a t-shirt and tennis shoes. And then the flip side of it of, actually putting on dress clothes, like church clothes, things like that. You can look well-dressed either way with the items that you put on. It's the fact of putting it together and keeping it together and not looking, I hate the word, like, I'm going to use it, like looking like a slob. I don't want to look over and, see a shirt half untucked or see your butt crack hanging out, or, I want to see that you actually care about how you look. And regardless if you think I'm looking, I'm looking. I'm always looking, I'm always watching, and I'm very in tune with details, and, kind of, I soak up these different things about people. And that's one thing that I love, a very well-dressed, well taken care of, hygienic person, because that means if they care enough about themselves to do that for themselves, and they want other people to view them in this sense, that I feel like that they're going to take care of me as well, if that makes sense. But
yeah,
it's just,
so what you're saying too is like, it doesn't really matter if they're wearing an outfit from Target or Armani. It matters that they took the time, because everybody has different budgets, right? But we can all look our best within our budget. It's like clean clothes. If you spill something on yourself, take it and treat the stain and put it in the wash. Just being clean and well groomed. Doing the best that you can with what you have. So
yeah,
I don't know how you probably think I look like a slob because I'm like a yoga pants messy bun girl. I can look really, really good, but
okay, but it's put together though. It's not like you have a hole in the butt cheek, or,
No.
you're still put together. You can be comfortable. And that's what I was trying to kind of, express, is that you can be comfortable, whether it's, oh Lord, ladies, the gray sweatpants. Holy shit.
Yes. Just clean ones, not with an oil stain right by your crotch. Okay. Right.
But put together, where it's, whether the shirt is tucked in or, it's just, you can tell when someone actually pays attention to small details about how they look, and those types of things. When it's important to that person, I feel like that's very detailed oriented, meaning also that that person is very detailed oriented. And that kind of rolls into another one of the things that I absolutely love when it comes to the flip side of things. The sexual part of stuff for me is someone that's detailed oriented, that can remember something from like 85 interactions ago, and then utilize that, and then hold on to it and be like, oh yeah, well, I know this. When you move your hips, you do this, right? Or if my breathing changes, or if I have a stark look on my face, like, and I can't move quite right, you're in the right spot. Being detailed oriented and
observant.
knowing my body.
Yeah.
Holy
Observant.
crap. Yeah. Yeah. And that's an amazing attribute, or like a trait that people have, and that blows my mind, because I don't even pay attention to some of those things when it comes to myself. But then when I hear that someone else has picked up on that, or they're like, oh yeah, every time I do this, you freaking come super hard. And I'm like, what? Yeah, I do. Holy crap. It's someone paying attention to, your body language and how you react to certain things.
There's a few things too. It's like, that I observe when I'm playing with these men too. Things that you can say, and every man has something, and you just have to find it, and just like with women, it's more about the touch and what you might say at the right time. So that observation, leading to that place of ecstasy, and them getting to know your body and what you like. They do not have an easy job, especially when you're, playing with multiple women over the course of time. It just becomes instinctual. So when they have that skill of, learning and honing their craft, and like you said, paying attention to the detail, it just becomes a package deal, really.
Whenever you know that someone has paid attention to detail, you know that they actually really care. And that's why I said, a good bull, a person, that, takes this place in people's lives really has to be in tune with it's a difficult job because it takes a lot of moving parts to get all this stuff right. And you have to be well versed in not just one, but like 85 different things when it comes to what women are looking for, what women want. And whenever you know that someone is so in tune with detail and you hear something, it can be so small, so minute, like, well, I know that when I do this, this makes you like freaking explode.
Mm-hmm.
But if I do this, it's not like as important. But hearing that someone has like taken that and compartmentalized that and remembered that and then applied it to your situations to improve it and enhance it each time that you're together, holy crap. That like it takes it to another level, takes it to another level, takes it to another level. So
Right.
that also, in like a multifaceted, comes all the way back circle to the largest sex organ is your brain. For a woman, that hits the brain so freaking hard to hear those things, to think, oh my gosh, this person's very in tune with me. They can see that, if I, can't catch my breath in this moment, or if I have this look on my face and I can't even speak in this moment, I'm baffled. They know they've got me. Or, these moments, it comes, like I said, full circle to realize that I'm being taken care of.
Right.
And this person is very in tune with my needs and very in tune with my body. That's huge, huge.
And it starts
And
back
that's a craft.
for sure. And that's what the Bull Brotherhood is all about, is honing their craft. And one of the foundational things that that what makes a quality bull for me, and probably if you don't have this down, you can't ever get to these knowing these details about me, is the communication. When guys call to pay their respect to Socrates, to get the guidelines for playing with me, one of the first things he says is, listen, if you don't communicate with my wife, it ain't gonna go down for you. And that's not his rule, that's mine. Like, when are we gotta, if it's local, like, when are we playing? Tell me if anything changes for you, and are you on your way? Like, communicate. And because that piece isn't there, my pussy's so dry, we're not getting to any of the did you wear a good outfit? Did you get the details going? I get turned off real quick when I don't know what's going on, with somebody. So
Yeah.
and then it's like, I'm a person that's on time or 5 minutes late, but I always communicate. Hey, I am 5 minutes behind on my day. I will be there at this time, as soon as I know.
Yeah.
So when other people don't have that courtesy to keep, you don't tell someone you're going to be late when you already are. Right.
Yeah.
So that communication piece. And then, and I'm a communicator in the moment too. Like when we're in the playtime, when we're in the time of hanging out, that's my best time to communicate. I'm not a big person to text all day or talk on the phone a lot in the process. But when I get into that playtime with the guys, it's like, it's very easy for me to just talk and communicate and have a good time with them in the moment. So what I've found is, bulls that can really calibrate to my communication level. So they know that I need the communication of when they're going to be there, scheduling, confirming that day, things like that. But a lot of them know, hey, this woman is very, very busy, and they don't. So how someone they'll text you. They'll text you, and then like 10 minutes later they're like, hello? Like you are, just ignoring them on purpose because you didn't get right back to them. And so I find that, the guys that can calibrate to that, and I just kind of go by the rule of, okay, on my text messages, okay, I texted last, I will wait for them to initiate the next time. I will just wait for that, because sometimes we just get busy, and we don't have time to just do the chitter chatter, but in there. And then I had a guy tell me, he said, I noticed that you didn't talk as much. He's like, so I just pulled back to the same level you were at. And he's like, and then when you were more chatty, He's like, I chatted it up with you. When you sent a picture, then I sent a picture. He's like, I just matched your energy in the flow. And then this is someone that is like, very, very new to the lifestyle and just barely learning about what being a bull is. So already just showing some natural qualities of calibration there, which he can just, use in the future. So that's something that impresses me, is the communication, and then just being able to calibrate to the woman's communication. Whereas I tell guys, there's other women, they want to talk a lot and they want to talk every day. I was like, you can use your energy, that energy, for them. And for me, calibrate to my chattiness or lack of. And then when we get into the play moment, I promise I'll talk your ear off. That's when I'll be wanting to talk of all the things, because I don't have anything else distracting me and I can just focus on that person. And that's why recently I've just enjoyed solo play a lot more and had more opportunities with it, because then I can, because the rest of my life is so busy. So it's nice to just have that more quiet time to just talk to another human being one-on-one, and get to know them. So what else comes to mind for you when you think of a quality bull?
Well, yeah. I mean, even spinning off of what you just said, communication. So, I mean, one of the hottest things that I completely, absolutely love and enjoy is the mouthpiece. The mouthpiece. If you can talk the talk when we are engaging in sexual interaction, and you can, whether it is talking up and you're talking in and straight into my kink, my thing that I like, or and it's variety. It's this and I, that kind of, like I said,
can you give a more clear example? Give me an example, because if I'm confused, men are confused. So give me a clear example by what you mean by that. I know you're really excited, Lindsay.
But so everything that I say is very multifaceted. There's different things and different aspects to it. So when I say the mouthpiece is the mouth connected to the brain, connected to the details, connected to the dynamic, connected to you seeing me and you reading my body language. So if you're talking and you're saying something and I'm not really responding, I'm just like, okay. But when you're talking and saying something and you're looking at me and I'm definitely responding, holy crap, don't stop. Or there's the other piece of, even with the fantasy play, like talking through things, discussing things that maybe you're naughty, or on the taboo side. That is so amazingly hot if you can meet and match up with your sexual equal. You will get, in my case, a lot of the times, this stark look of, I can't even respond if we are engaged sexually and, the talk or the story or the conversation is this and whatnot, and the details come into play. And I'd almost feel breathless. Like I'm stuck in this moment, but I don't want it to stop.
Right.
It's that powerful in that moment. I don't want it to stop. And I'm afraid that if I respond, it's going to stop, because I'm just here playing it out and listening and taking it in. And then I'm getting more and more and more turned on. Every single word, every moment, every look, anything. So do you have the ability to tell a hot, sexy, detailed story? Or do you have the ability to speak to a taboo or a fetish or something in the moment, in that heated moment of pleasuring somebody else? Do you have that ability with that mouthpiece to, and also with your eyeballs, and look and observe, is it something that someone's into? Is it something that they're really, it's hitting home with them? And you're like, oh, okay, well, okay. The more I say this, oh yeah, she's wet. Oh yeah. You keep moving on with it. So that's another thing. Like I said, people have to be observant when they're doing these things, but the mouthpiece is 100% one of the hottest things, because it's connected to your brain. It's connected to all these things. And the ability, that's like super, super hardcore foreplay, to talk about different things and just,
well, and what's also amazing about what you're expressing is the goal for every woman, and that is to just have their mind be freed. Like our our outside lives
Oh yeah.
are so busy. You know, we have so many responsibilities. Like you and I are both wives, we're both mothers, we both work.
Yeah.
We have a lot of demands
Mhm.
on us. So when we get that time to spend with someone one-on-one like that, and they have that ability to, through physical pleasure, through speaking to us, to take us somewhere else that we can, and I don't even want to say escape because I love my life, but just to free my mind that nothing outside that room matters, just where I'm at
Mhm.
in that moment.
Yeah.
And I don't have that with every play partner situation. So the ones where I get that, where I look up and I'm like, oh, it's been 3 hours and we are still here, you know? That is something, you know, that is a special, not special, but a unique situation because not everyone can get you there. So what you're describing is part of that. Just mind freeing experience, and then it turns into mind blowing, right?
Well, because you release all of those responsibilities. You release the knocking on the door of "Ma, can you do this?" or "Hey, what's for dinner?" Or it releases so much tension and everyday life responsibilities of everyone relies on me. And now in this moment, I have someone that is focused and tuned into details and is very, very much driven to make this situation about me and to please me. But yet I think from my experience that whenever a bull sees how well and pleased you are, that's what gets them off. Not always in every situation, but for them to be able to see what they're doing to you and the outcome, to know that they're doing that. They're giving you that ecstasy. They are in that moment providing you with something that, and let's just call it what it is, other people cannot provide. That's huge. That's a huge connection. It's important to a sexual experience. But yeah, the mouthpiece, 100%. You know, I want to walk in the house to my husband fucking the babysitter, right? And this is a situation where I'm like, oh my God, this is so hot. Can you spin off on that and can you be creative in the moment and continue on with something that's going to be a huge turn on for the both of us? Because one, I might be turned on, but then as you're looking at me and as we're doing stuff, you're going to look at me, you're going to assess my body language and everything else. It's all going to come back full circle. It's all going to play out to be the most amazing freaking situation ever.
I love your enthusiasm for that too, because that's exactly, you know, when I listen to my husband and also Brian talk, you know, it is that feeling of being that pleasure provider, you know, like we've spoke about in the past. So that's important. And, you know, not every guy is, the role play thing is his thing. And there's lots of ways, you know, and things that bulls do to please. So, but it's good to hear what you're into and what you want. I'm going to speak on a little bit of the more casual, but I am more of a woman. Like I talked about, I don't like to chat a lot. And you're like, man, I need that mental connection. I need to talk, you know. I don't need as much of that. Often. And I just want to speak out as to the ladies and to the bulls of like Lindsay and I are showing you kind of two sides of the coin of what we prefer, and nothing that anyone prefers is bad or wrong. We all prefer different things. We're talking about what a quality bull is in general, and then what specifically really gets us to that point of being like, wow, this is a quality bull. So, you know, just understand that really communicating and listening are going to be your top things when you're involved with a woman, whether she has a husband or not. You know, you want to tune into what it is that she's looking for. You always want to be yourself. So that's why it's like, you know what, if you're not a good fit for this woman and you're working on honing your craft, you're learning from other bulls, from more seasoned bulls, and it's not a good fit, that's okay. There's going to be other women that will enjoy you when it comes to the personality aspects. But the foundational things of communication, listening, respect. I know, Lindsay, you know, that it means a lot to you that Brian and Philip are friends, that Brian shows a great level of respect for your husband. For me, you know, it's a little bit different with my husband being the married bull, but it means a lot to me. And I require things that my husband doesn't even require of the guys that I play with. You know, if they were ever to just like, you know, brush it off or want to address him or not want to say hello to him. Like there's a guy the other day that, here's the process. I said, you know, I only talked to them a few minutes. I'm like, all right, well, you know, is it good? Okay, well, you got to talk to my husband. He's going to go over the guidelines with you. And there was one guy that was like, well, can we do like a 3-way call and you can be on it with me? And I said, next. Because if they can't even pick up the phone man to man and call a guy who, and I always tell them, my husband's super chill. Yeah, he's a really hot black guy, but he's super chill. Like he's not going to grill you or like, you know, ask you a bunch of crazy questions. He just wants to make sure I'm safe, respected, that you communicate with me and that when it's time, you lay it down. So it's pretty simple with my husband. So, and when a guy can't even get on the phone with him, I'm just like, meh, you know, that's okay. And for us too, being in a racial relationship, you know, women will either get intimidated by me or guys will get intimidated by my husband. We just want people to show respect to our partners. We're like, you know, there's a handful of times that, you know, he has told me no about some guys. He's like, listen, babe, like this guy, I just have this feeling. And I'll just say, okay, no problem. Because you know what? I get, for every one he said no to, there's 100 that I got that he's like, yeah, go have a great time. And same with me. You know, sometimes I'll just get like a vibe about a woman and be like, okay, daddy, you do what you want here. But I just telling you something's off, you know? So just having that communication. So, you know, it's not, you know, if people, it's not that we're intimidating, it's that people are intimidated. Do you understand the difference? And I think it was Brian that taught me that. And it's just true. And it helps me in that realm of like, when you're just asking for respect from, you know, people, then if they're intimidated beyond that, that's their deal. That's their problem, you know? And, you know, I've had different guys that, oh, I didn't know you want to play with me. I was intimidated by your husband or this, that, or whatever. It's like, what the heck? You know, he is like the nicest guy. And so we try to put it out there, you know, hey, ladies, I don't bite, but please just come say hello to me. And then guess what? Take my husband by the hand and run away. Suck his dick and do all kinds of nasty shit. Like, it's fine. And guys, same thing. Come
of the
up.
day, he'll come back.
Right. Yeah. You ain't paying your bills. You know, I just hit a parked car today. Okay. And I called Socrates and I was like, thank you for being a husband does not get mad at me, does not yell at me when I make mistakes. It's like, okay, ladies, you're not having that with him. You know what I mean? That's our deal, right? So it doesn't matter. So you get to have the fun part, you know? You don't have to ever call him and say that you hit a parked car. You just might call him and say, oh, hey, I was parked in my car and I was thinking naughty thoughts about you. You know, whatever. And guys, same thing. Shake his hand, take me by the hand and run off and let's do all sorts of nasty things. So the respect factor is huge, but that goes definitely both directions. So I'm trying to think, just that confidence. It's like, just don't be afraid of couples that are married, you know, whatever their dynamic is, just go up and ask, you know, just having that confidence to just approach people with a friendly manner. And if they say no, thank you, just get used to that. That's part of the lifestyle. I get said no thank you to. Guys tell me no thank you, you know? And sometimes couple years later they eventually say, "Oh, hey."
I think
You know,
that
and
comes
that's
with like a
okay.
level of like comfortability.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
okay. It's okay. And just, you know, you don't have to tell people, oh, maybe later, whatever. Just say, I'm not interested. It's okay. But have the
Right.
confidence that they're not rejecting you personally. They're just not interested right now.
Yeah.
They have their eye on something, you know, and it's not personal. So move along to the next one and just have that confidence that, and keep working on your skills. So what else you got, girl?
I would say I really enjoy a person who's genuine.
And authentic.
With a person who, yes, that was the second word that was going to come out of my face.
They kind of go hand in hand, though, for sure.
It really does. And being genuine and authentic, I mean, showing your true self, you know, that's huge. It's hard for people to do that because a lot of people are very guarded. And I think that they feel guarded maybe because they've been burned, maybe because they've been treated some sort of a way, but especially being a bull, like, and that was, and I've talked about it before. That was a huge, major attraction for me with Brian, was the fact of that whenever, what the hell's that freaking app, or whatever it's called. I was on there and I saw that this person was on there. He was posting, and I look at it and I'm like, Brian. Okay, saw his last name. I'm like, wait a second, is this for real? And that was a pretty big deal for me, because before, most of the people that Philip and I would engage with or talk to, they had some really stupid ass names, like Dick Slinger 85 and Midnight fucking buttfucker. It was like, what the fuck? I mean, stupid ass shit. You're like, oh, okay, I am not talking to you. But when I saw that this person legit put their first and last name out there, and I was like, hold on, is this hold on? And then talking to him,
You're like,
messaging
I'm
him, like,
confused. Did you spell Dick Slayer 500 wrong? And it's actually spelled Brian. Oh, that is very unique. And it's pretty normal to have aliases, but you are right. Some of them, I'm just like, it's kind of like a junior high email, right? Like sassypants@hotmail.com.
Wet snail trail. Like, no, it's nasty. Yeah, there's some ridiculous shit out there, but I will tell you, by far, that's the most memorable and amazing quality and trait that hold close and dear to my heart, is the fact of seeing a real name and then messaging this person, because I'm not, well, you talk about communicating about, boundaries, and I'm doing stuff and whatever. And I talked about like communication in the bed, right? But my other part of my communication is I'm not a huge communicator when it comes to trying to vet people or talk to people. It's just not my thing. I don't do that. I'm not, as we both have said, our lives are so busy. We have families, we have kids, we have households, we have animals, we have all these things. I've got stuff I need to do. I have people that rely on me. I take care of people for a living. I'm a nurse. I do this all day long. When it comes to me making a meal, I'm the last person that eats the meal. 100% all day long for the last 24 freaking years. But to see that this person is throwing themselves out there and they're a real person, and then when I talk to them, and I kind of referenced this earlier, it's like, not within like the 2 minutes did I get like a dick pic or nothing like, show me your pussy. Like, okay.
I always say, let the woman just send them on her own, unless it gets further in, right? Don't ask.
Yeah. Let me be the one that's the naughty girl. Let me be the one that offers up the naughty girl stuff. And then I can sit back, or I can be submissive and calm down, and you can say, okay, show me blah, 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 because you're going to be a good submissive slut or whatever.
Right. As you form your, friendship and relationship, whatever that looks like.
Yeah.
But if you're a new guy on campus, sit down.
Just, you have to, once again, one of these terms that I use in my household often with my children and my husband, call them your teddies. and just sit back, relax. It will happen. Things will happen. It has to happen, organically. It just can't just be thrown out there and kabam. I'm shoving these things down your throat, and you're going to instantly oh my God, we're going to go off and make a connection.
Right.
No,
I don't know what,
because
this is
so
the discussion.
superficial.
Yeah, this is the discussion even among vanilla women is when you're just barely talking to someone and they send you a dick pic. I mean, I guess one of these times I'm just going to mess with them and respond this way and say, oh my God, I've never seen anything like that. What's your address? I'm coming over right now and jump on that. Because is that what they're expecting? Like, I don't really know what to say when I get those. More. I'm just like, outright joke and I say, I like to meet my dicks in person.
Oh God!
Okay, we're getting off on the dick thing way so much.
yeah, sorry, my bad.
I want to touch on the authenticity part. Is being there's different volumes of your personality. When you have to be a little more professional, or maybe you have to be around family, and you, but then when you're around your good friends, I tell my kids, like, listen, we need to be authentic and be ourselves everywhere we're at, but there's certain places that we might turn the volume up or down. But I just value people who are the same person regardless of who they're around. Yeah. There are people that I feel like I'm around them in one situation and then I'm around them in another one and I don't even recognize them. It's totally different. So I just value people just like being their authentic selves, whatever room they're in, but just learning how to adjust their volume. So I really like what you said there. But I think we should let the guys jump in here and kind of give their thoughts, see if they have any other questions for us, and then we'll wrap it up because we have already talked damn near an hour, and we like to keep it under here. So, okay, so you guys can maybe just one question each, Socrates and Brian. Socrates, you want to go first? He was rubbing his hands like he's getting ready to eat a good meal.
Actually, I was gonna yield the floor to Unc because this is his girl, and I'm sure he's got, things he might want to discuss. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Brian. What do you think of our conversation?
Things I have to discuss. Great conversation. Very good conversation. Very, I think, very, very truthful from both sides. I'd like to know who Lindsay was talking about the whole time.
Stop it. It's you. And from what I know about you too, especially the storytelling thing, I was like, stop it.
Okay, let's not talk about where my right hand is at right now. Okay, let's.
Yeah, there really isn't a question or questions for me to ask. I think she kind of summed up everything. As far as like what I am, at least. She's had other encounters, of course, and I'm quite sure that they were all good. But when you put it all together, as she says, that's what makes a quality bull. And I do pride myself on being able to, when I'm in the bedroom, to tell a story. I am as kinky as they come. She kept saying the word taboo, and we won't go into that, but we are very, very, very kinky in the taboo realm. And she's already playing. She's playing with her pussy right now. I know that. She's playing with her pussy right now.
You better jump in the car and get over there.
No, I don't have to. She'll finish herself off. If we stay up there long enough, she'll come for you right now. But she pretty much summed it all up. Really, there is no question for me to ask. Great job, great interview on both sides. Great interview. Go ahead and take it away, nephew.
Yeah,
I know damn well you got some damn questions.
Of course.
Okay, you got 2 minutes.
Okay. Lindsay. So my first question is talking about the mouthpiece part. And you did a beautiful connection between the brain to the mouthpiece and to the mouthpiece to your ears. I don't know. Can you do that whole process again? What was that breakdown of why the mouthpiece is so important? Because you made this linear connection I thought was beautiful.
Oh, yeah. So no, I was talking about like the mouthpiece and being in tune with like when you're talking to someone, whenever you are in that space in that moment, and you know that you are really pulling and tugging at something that turns somebody on. You're looking and observing, and you're taking all that in. You're being in tune with those details. That is the most amazing, the most hottest, the most desirable thing for a woman, a hot wife. And I'm not, I love my husband. He's downstairs watching the foosball right now as we speak. But you know what? You love each other. It is what it is. And you're going to be here together for the long haul. But when it comes to a bowl that has and can finite this fine art of this mouthpiece, tell me and talk to me and tell me that dirty as shit. Tell me that you have this desire for me to be maybe a teacher that stayed after school late and you're in trouble and you're going to do this and that we're going to do this. And then now, you know, even this conversation of the babysitter, like, oh, you walk into the house and you catch me, you know, fucking the babysitter. That shit is hot as hell. Oh my God. The ability to hear these details and then actually pay attention to how the body is responding, how the mind is, even the visual aspect of the eyeballs. Because I have a hard time. At times I'm like breathless and I can't even speak. I'm like, and I get asked a question and I can't speak. And then I get asked, why can't you answer? And I look.
You're wheezing.
Like with this blank stare of, oh my God. And if I speak, I'm going to shut this situation down and I refuse to now speak. So I'm in this moment. I'm drawn into this fantasy, this moment. Holy effing crap.
So you're really into the role
elevated,
play. You're really into the role play.
But it's the mouthpiece. The person is in tune with your brain. The person knows what you like. The person knows what turns you on. This person knows and can look at you and say, oh, she's not feeling the like tip of the over here. Let me go over here and do this. And it's like,
So-
yeah, that person knows.
Siren,
Yeah.
Siren, let me answer that question. All right. To answer the question, she was not into the role play. Okay. She was not into the role play until a little while ago when I introduced it to her while I was fucking her.
Yeah, I love it. I don't have anyone
I gave her
that does it.
I gave her a scenario while I was fucking her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I just simply told her, I was like, there's nothing hotter than a beautiful, like, mom. You know, what if I was one of your son's friends that came over to the house all the time and you're thinking, oh my God, he's the cutest thing. He comes over to see my son, but I'm not coming over there to see my friend. I'm actually coming over there. Why do you think I walk up to you while you're over there doing the dishes and something, and I wrap my arms around you and say, hello, Mrs. Baldridge, and I just wrap my arms around you, and I give you just the slightest pull up against me, you know, while you got your little shorts and your top on. Do you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I stop it right there. But yeah. But that is what I'm talking about.
Let me tell you, I literally screamed and hollered and I said, you're making me squirt in my face. I'm squirting in my fucking face. God damn it. Yeah. I squirted in my own fucking face.
You just have to be, the bull becomes totally and completely in tuned with his woman, with his hot wife. All right. Nothing else matters. He's already pleased. Okay. I.e. the pleasure provider. He's already pleased. I was pleased from the moment she contacted me. I was pleased. Okay. So ever since then, I have been delivering something different. I always keep her guessing. That's something that a husband always says. You never fucking know what Brian's going to do. I might be dominant. I might be dominant as fuck one damn time, and then I might turn around the next time and be just as fucking making love and soft and caressing, et cetera, et cetera. She never knows what the fuck she's going to get. Never knows. And that's what makes this shit exciting.
Mm-hmm.
That's what makes the whole part of claiming, training, and owning exciting. Okay? That's it. And if I could...
She's fine. She's fine. No need to check on her, Brian. You're interrupting.
Yeah. I know she's all right.
All right, Socrates, did that answer your question, Socrates?
Yes.
All right, any more questions, babe?
No, ma'am. You said we only had one each.
Yeah, well, Brian jumped back in there, so. And we don't want, well, I don't know. You know, we love to hear Lindsay finish, but I think that's all the time we have for today. So you'll just have to get her in person sometime. All right, Brian, close us out as usual.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have had a very, very exciting discussion tonight with the lovely Siren and, of course, my baby girl, Lindsay from Jacksonville, North Kakalaki. Until we meet again, ladies and gentlemen, to all my bull brothers out there, I bid you good night. And to all my hot wives, unicorns, sexy ladies out there, good morning. This is the Sigma Male coming at you, Brian Morgan, along with Siren and Socrates, and the lovely Lindsay, saying, Auf Wiedersehen. Good night, y'all. Bye-bye.
Luxury untold.